You're listening to 5 Minutes of English with Laura Pickens, a short podcast about the way we actually talk, like for real. Make your stories come alive. Hi, my name is Laura. I'm an American living in Russia, and I have been teaching English for a very long time. Now I am a speaking coach where I teach my clients how to speak better. And one of my favorite ways to teach people how to speak better is how to tell better stories. It is the heart of what I consider to be a great conversation. So today's episode is going to go back to grammar. I did promise this in my last episode when I was talking about past forms, that I would be telling you how to use past continuous, how to tell better stories. And that day is today. So without getting in too much grammar, let's just look at what past continuous is. I was running, I was swimming, I was skipping. We've talked about this construction before when we interrupt another action. He came home and I was cooking dinner. I was in the middle of making dinner when he came home. That's not what we're going to talk about today. I want to actually remember present continuous. And I want you to remember an exercise you've probably done. This is describe the picture. This is a common speaking exercise that happens in certifications and in school. You're given a picture and you're asked to describe what is happening in the picture. You start by saying, in this picture you can see there are two boys playing. The sun is shining. People are smiling. This is the use of continuous that I want to capture. Everybody is in the middle of a process. And you've taken a snapshot, a picture of what is happening right at this moment. There is a moment in time, and we describe it all as present continuous. Let's take that same principle and apply it to past continuous. I like to use past continuous to set the stage in the listener's mind. Think about as describing that moment in time where the story begins. I honestly like to think of this as like on stage. You put all the actors in their places and they're not just standing still. It's like they're mid-step, as if everyone just said pause. So what I do when I tell a story is I set the stage with past continuous. For example, this is a real story that happened to me this year, and it's one of my most favorite stories to tell. I was beginning my trip to Australia from Krasnodar. I was at the train station. I was waiting for my train. I was feeling very nervous. I was thinking about all the things that could go wrong. I was checking my ticket. I was checking the board. I was imagining what my train was going to look like because it was going to be a big, beautiful train. And I was waiting and waiting. Now, before my story has even begun, because the story hasn't begun, no actions have happened, but I have set the scene. If you have ever gone on a big trip, you can imagine yourself in this situation because you yourself have been there. And even if you've never waited at a train station, you waited at some kind of station. And when you can see yourself in a situation, you have an emotional connection to the story. You already are interested in what happens next. I use past continuous to set the stage, to describe what I see, hear, and feel before the story even begins. This lets me show my audience what I feel without having to tell them. If you want to know what happens in this story, I posted it on my Instagram and Telegram channels, and we can discuss it more in my Telegram club, where I show people how to have great conversations. Because if you're having a conversation, do you want to talk about the weather, or do you want to talk about one of your greatest mistakes that ended up becoming one of your greatest stories? Come have a great conversation with me on my Telegram club and learn a little English along the way. The link is in the description. And with that, I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.